Spoiler warning! I'll be talking about the 10th episode of Akebi's Sailor Uniform in this video, and if you haven't seen the episode yet, then I suggest you watch it first and then come back here. Okay? Okay. So this episode was just heartwarming and filled with wholesome stuff. We get to spend time with characters we've met in previous episodes and see them practice for their athletic festival. Now the episode starts off with Komichi Akebi entering the classroom, as she greets Kizaki Erika and Usagi Harutoku. Riri Minakami also enters the room as they all exchange compliments on how adorable their summer uniforms look on each other. We then enter the opening credits, and as always, it's just amazing to listen to and see the visuals play out. Afterwards, we see Komichi Akebi, Kamimoku Neko, Kei Tanigawa, and Yasuku Nawashiro making pom-poms in their classroom. Then once they were finished, we get to see them interact with each other, and as always, seeing Kamimoku Neko on screen is just too cute. We then move to Kizaki Erika and Ryona Shijo as they are on their way to practice for their tennis competition. I love the one-way shot where the camera just goes down while they two are heading down the stairs. That was a really cool shot. We then get to see Ryona Shijo getting concerned for something as the two continue to head into the field. We then move to Ayumi Togiguchi and Okuma Minoru in the gymnasium practicing on their table tennis skills. And it was so funny seeing them realize nobody was there but them and the badminton players on the other side. What I also love about Ayumi Togiguchi's character is that she always has a cartoonish reaction from time to time, and that's a really cool detail, to be fair. Akebi and the others arrived and give them a cheer, but they were off rhythm from each other, and Togiguchi helped them with that by giving them steps to help them be more unified. Another thing that I love here is Akebi's sweet innocence, because she's just so pure. So once they were able to be more in sync with each other, Akebi and the others give them a cheer one more time with the moves they learned, and it improved a lot. Akebi then notices Oshizu Hibimori and Hotaru Hiraiwa across the gym, and decides to head into the upper benches to give them a cheer. It was really funny when Oshizu Hibimori was shocked to just see her on top when she just left the area, and for her to be walking nervously afterwards as well. But that was really wholesome when Hiraiwa Hotaru reacted to Akebi's cheering by giving her a cute pose. That was one of the most adorable things I've ever seen in this episode, and I'll never forget it. We then get a montage of them cheering on for their other classmates and see how much they were able to help them do their best, and that was pretty sweet and wholesome. The music playing as well really fit the whole vibe of them just supporting one another. And soon, Kamimoku Neko and Kei Tanigawa had their own practices to attend to, but that didn't stop Akebi and the others. They simply went to each and every one of their practices and supported each other, and that was just wholesome to see. Shortly after, we see them taking a break for a while as Yasuku Nawashiro asks permission to run off to watch Hitomi Washio's practice. Here we get to see Kamimoku Neko being tired as she rolls around the grass acting all adorable. We then move to Akebi tying her shirt and hair as she practices on her moves. Afterwards, we then go back to Kizaki Erika and Ryona Shijo, as she was sitting on the bench, still concerned over something. She grabs hold of her shirt and tightens her grip as they were about to start. We then learn that she used to play hardball tennis 2 years ago, as we get to see shots of her missing the ball and hitting the net. As she and Kizaki Erika then talked it out, she tries to cheer Ryona Shijo up by giving her a cup of her favorite black tea. And after knowing she hasn't played for at least 2 years now, Kizaki Erika points out that that isn't the reason for her missing the shots or not hitting the ball. It was that she grew and have a different body now. They both then hear Akebi cheering as Ryona Shijo then admires Akebi's slender body in the distance. I mean, who wouldn't? As Akebi went closer, Ryona Shijo was still in thought and accidentally pokes Akebi's belly button. You heard me right, folks. She pokes Akebi's belly button. As Akebi then misinterprets it differently and drags Ryona Shijo to cheer with her. She hands her a pom-pom and the two start cheering in the open field. Akebi cheered confidently while Ryona Shijo was embarrassed and envied Akebi's slender body from afar. Minutes later, they both watched a recorded video of them cheering as Kei Tanegawa took it. Kami Mokuneku once again acts cutely as she hops towards Ryona Shijo's thighs, as she comfortably lays her head on them. We then get a transition of her laying down on Ryona Shijo's thighs, as she gets a lap pillow. She then gets the motivation needed to face her fears, as she saw how hard Akebi was doing her best to cheer on despite having the slender body she envied. She practices one more time with Akebi as the two then get more in sync with each other. She was still embarrassed doing it, but this time she was giving her best as she really enjoyed every second of it. She goes back to Kizaki Erika and does it one more time, and this time she had the confidence to show for it. And she pulled through. As Akebi cheered her on happily, we then transitioned to Akebi in the club room, happily talking about her day with the club president. It was funny when the club president, Hako Chiarashi, yes, I now know her name, doesn't understand Akebi when she speaks too many adverbs. That was a cute insight on the character. And she then shows Akebi what seems to be an outfit for what she's going to be performing in the athletic festival, I think. Also, I'd like to point out her smug face is so sweet, and knowing she has fangs makes her even more adorable. And that's where the episode ends. They ended the episode with Akebi being amazed at what the club president gave her. And since she had a smug face on, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be amazing and beautiful. I'm sure we'll be able to witness what she saw as well, but for now we will have to be patient. The episode was really fun and it had a ton of adorable moments. My soul has been cleansed yet again after watching every episode of Akebi's Sailor Uniform. Now if I were to give this episode a rating, I would give it another 10 out of 10. It's wholesome, it's adorable, and not to mention the music is just brilliant. We get to see more Kami Mokuneku, more Hiraiwa Hotaru, and I live for that. We may have gotten a cliffhanger with what Akebi saw, but I'm pretty confident we'll be able to see what she saw in this episode. That's all I have to say for today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll be seeing you guys next time. See ya!